ROC Tech Conference. I think we have over 400 registered today. This is the third year we've had this conference. I believe it is the largest tech conference of its nature anywhere in this region, even as part of the state. And I want to thank, first and foremost, everybody here for taking time out of your very busy schedules to come. I want to thank all our sponsors, which are too numerous to mention right now. The Chamber team led by Susan George, and the Innovative team, and the Convention Center for all the work they have done putting this together. We have a fantastic conference. We have world-class speakers and presenters. We have a world-class MC. You're going to meet in a few minutes. A world-class speaker at the very end, an author, Ben Nepton, who's going to finish up the day, and a host of great presentations. Before I bring up Justin Copey, I just want to say one of the greatest things about this is we get to bring all this phenomenal talent from Rochester together. We have 19 colleges and universities in this region. We have some of the greatest technology talent imaginable. And what this does is really bring people together, the synergies that we hope to get, the collaborations that we hope to get from competitors and across the whole spectrum. We want to grow the ecosystem here in Rochester. We want to grow our technology community. It's already fantastic. We want it bigger and better. We want to keep the talent we have here, keep it here and growing. We also want to attract new talent in. And I think it's events like this that really do it, because it really kind of conjures up so much excitement. But it's going to be a great, great day. We have a very, very busy schedule. So without any further ado, I want to bring up, it comes up, Justin Copey is the owner and CEO of Innovative Solutions. This is the third year Justin started this. We partnered with him, but I want to give him credit for leading this effort off, for inviting competitors and growing this. And to go from a couple hundred people in year one to between 400 and 500 this year is a phenomenal opportunity and really a great growth. And I also want to point out, Justin, as you come up here, I was told yesterday, wear a t-shirt. Justin is going to wear a t-shirt. So we have anybody, these t-shirts here, all the team members here. So Justin apparently did not wear a t-shirt, but please welcome the CEO of Innovative, Justin Copey, and the original founder of the ROC Tech Conference. Justin.
Welcome. I don't know why you had to mention the t-shirt, I apologize, but this is the conference. And this is the conference for our community. We are a tech community. Every business is a tech company. And today I challenge everybody in this room to really think about that. Think about the message in our keynote from Ben Nepton later this afternoon. Think about the breakout sessions. Think about the people you're meeting at these amazing exhibitors and all that is happening in this community to make this place great. I thank you all so much for coming out. We have a full day. We hope you enjoy it, and if there is anything we can do, the t-shirts do say Experience Maker on them because we want everybody to have a truly unique experience. So please let us know how to make your day any better. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome up my friend, and God, this is going to be incredible. Alex, please lead us off.
Give it up for Justin one more time. So as Justin said, my name is Alex, and just before I give some context, by show of hands, who was here last year? Give me full on so I get a sense for the room. Great, so good to see familiar faces. And for those of you who weren't here last year, my name is Alex. And for the last 7 years, I've been obsessively studying success. I spent thousands of hours researching, going through hundreds of biographies, and most importantly, sitting down one-on-one asking questions that people is dying to get answers from. And that journey came out in my book, The Third Door, and why I'm so excited to be here at ROC Tech again is last year was a phenomenal experience, and this year, Justin and I were talking a lot about how I can help usher the energy for today. So before we get into all the great content today, I want to try a little experiment. So if you guys can indulge me, everybody stand up. Everybody stand up. And take about 30 seconds to find someone you don't know and greet them like you're at a tech conference. Greet them like a stranger at a tech conference. You have 30 seconds. Find someone you don't know and just say hello. After you make a friend. If you can hear my voice, put a hand up in the air. If you hear my voice, put a hand up in the air. Perfect. Okay, so we mastered part one of the experiment. Now the important part. Now the important part. The second half of the experiment is find someone else, make eye contact right now with someone you don't know. Don't say anything, just make eye contact, look around. Find someone you don't know. And greet them like they're your long lost fucking best friend. Now you haven't seen in 10 years. Go! You got hugs, you got energy, you got excitement. After you talk to your best friend, find your seat. You guys are amazing. You guys are incredible. The reason I love that little experiment so much is because it's so clear what the point of the experiment is. We can all feel the difference in energy literally within like 2 seconds. And the reason I wanted to start the whole day with that is it really is proof. It's proof that the energy we put out is the energy we get back. And what's so amazing about ROC Tech is that, you know, as great as the content is that they've built out for you today, the real magic are the people sitting next to you. And, you know, I can just speak from personal experience. What's changed my life the most has been coming to events like this. And not just hearing speakers, but really creating a peer group of the people sitting around me. Because that's what's going to carry you into, you know, the rest of the year, and that's what's going to change your career and change your life. Now, before we dive into the main content, I just want to say some very deep and sincere thank yous. Of course, to the Greater Rochester Chamber of Commerce, to Innovative Solutions. Let's give them a giant round of applause. Thank you. I also really want to thank the major sponsors at the innovator level, and the biggest one is Fast Tracking Solutions, which is, you know, your go-to talent partner specializing in tech, home building, and finance industries. Let's give them another giant applause. So our RTC partners are CMI AV, iHeartRadio, Rochester Business Journal, and WROC TV. Let's give them another applause. Clearly, I like applause. And, you know, our visionary sponsors this year, Offsite Data Sync and Paycheck, and our VIP sponsors are IV4 and Live Tiles. Let's give them a big applause. The connector sponsors, this is how you know they did a very good job, that this part is very long. That's how you know they did a great job. Our connector sponsors, Bright Computers, Genuine, LMT Technology Solutions, and MongoDB. And our RTC 19 experience partners, Cloud Checker, First Light, BMW, Microsoft, Veracity V Arcade, Golden Hello Company, and D8 Distributing. Let's give them all a giant round of applause. So you want to also make sure that you have the Attendify mobile app and just search on there. It's really simple. Just search on there, ROC Tech Conference, and enter the event code RTC19. Super simple. The event code is RTC19. And also, if you guys are out here, tweeting and Instagramming, it's just RTC19 for the hashtag, which makes it super fun so we can all see the photos at the end too. And now, I'm very excited to introduce our first main speaker. And his name is Dave Garavon, and he is the Partner Sales Manager at Amazon Web Services. And for the past 15 years, he's been in the tech industry, and I had a pleasure right before coming up on the stage of talking with him, and I just want to say he's an incredibly sincere guy, and I couldn't be more happy with all the energy, expertise, and knowledge he brings from Amazon Web Services here to ROC Tech. So let's give him a giant round of applause. And welcome to ROC Tech 19!
How's everybody doing today? I know we just stood up and we had a little, experiment. I'd like everybody to stand up again. Stretch it out, shake it out, feel good. It's going to be a long day. In my experience in sitting through conferences like these, you got to keep standing up and stay hydrated. That's a good one too, right? There's a lot of coffee, but you got to put a lot of water in there also. So I'm really excited to talk to you guys about harnessing the power of the cloud. In this presentation, I'll give you a little bit more insight of who I am and what I do. You guys can be seated whenever you feel necessary. Feel free to stand if you want to. It's all good. So yeah, we're just going to jump right in. Anybody know what this thing is? It's called the Great Gizmo. IBM made it. It's the first hard drive that ever shipped. 5 megabytes for $50,000. The size of 2 refrigerators. This was in 1956. How far have we come to 2019? We're going to talk about that today. Anybody know what one of these things are? 1988, Motorola made this. This is the bag phone. And if you talk, if some of you guys were in sales around there, and they had the one bag phone at the office. And if you were going out, they're like, take the phone. You got to take the phone. And everybody take the phone, they wouldn't plug it in, they'd throw it in the back of the car, and they'd drive and do their thing. Now, I remember my dad had one of these when I was a lot younger, and I just wanted to mess with that thing all the time. And he never used it either, but he had one, right? He had one. So, where technology's going and where we've been, it's amazing. It's amazing to me of all the different things that we're seeing right now. And if you look at it and take a step back, and look at the timeline of where we're going, it doesn't go in little increments. We're shooting straight to the stars with what we can do. And today we're going to talk a little bit more about the cloud and cloud journeys and artificial intelligence and machine learning and things like that that wouldn't be possible without this. So as you're going through your life, your business, your family, watching sporting events, things like that, remember that the back end of all that is technology. And mobile is changing the way we use the internet, right? You guys probably can't see because it's kind of small there, but the share of internet traffic over mobile, that's what this graph shows you. In 2009, 0.7%. And now in 2018, 52.2%. In 2019, it's going to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. And by 2020, the amount of people purchasing things on the internet is going to be growing to almost 40% from 20% in 2016. In your pocket or in front of you right now is one of the strongest computers out there, your phone. Could you imagine 10 years ago doing all your work on your phone? For me, and I travel a good amount, if I didn't have email on my phone, I don't know what I would be doing. My first job, which we'll talk about in a few moments, I worked at a tech company, and when I left the office, that was work. It was done, because my big off-white computer didn't come with me. It stayed at the office. So when you got back in, you had a stack of papers, and you worked on it. Now, with mobile, I'm working all the time. Whether that's a good or bad thing is debatable, but I'm working all the time. But innovation truly is increasing the speed of adoption. And there's disruption. a lot of times, and I work in New York City, and there's cabs everywhere, but cabs are turning into Uber and Lyft. In the hospitality industry, you may be staying at hotels, and I do too when I'm traveling myself. When I travel with my family, me, my wife, and I have three small boys, we stay at Airbnbs because it's more like home. And it's nicer to, pay kids to go run in the yard instead of pay kids to do circles in that square hotel room. And media, right? Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu. Now they're coming out with a Disney streaming, which my kids are so excited about. It's just changing, and the way that we consume things is so different. You can watch Netflix on your phone, on your computer, on your TV, wherever it is. More and more people aren't buying cable anymore. And to communicate, Slack, WhatsApp, the list goes on and on today. It's a way of free communication that's different than mailing a letter, even different than text messages, right? And it's a way you can record what's going on. By a show of hands, how many people here use something such as a Slack or a WhatsApp in their office? Look around. Everyone look around. Keep your hands up. That's the majority of people in here. This is a true disruption that's forcing change in our business and financially. Apple Pay, Android Pay, the list goes on and on. How many people use this instead of a credit card? Not as many, but it's growing. It's growing. And it all depends on what you feel. Do I feel that's safe? Do I feel it's secure? And security is probably on everyone's mind, right? Security is driving these initiatives, and I can tell you personally, I was hesitant at first. And then I did the research as I do. And I said, well, this is secure, this is safe, and if there's a problem, I can call the company and they're going to help me through that. Now, as we saw here, and by shows of hands and whatnot, the speed of adoption is increasing. What I'm going to show you here is the time it took to get 50 million people to use specific technologies. The telephone, 75 years for 50 million people to use the phone. The radio, 38 years, getting there. TV, 13 years. The iPod, 3 years. Has anybody ever heard of this game played on your phone called Angry Birds? Well, they have a version of Angry Birds called Angry Birds Space. How long, if you can just shout it out, do you think it took for 50 million people to use Angry Birds Space? 5 minutes is a little too fast. I heard a month, I heard 90 days, I heard 5 minutes. 35 days. 35 days to get to 50 million people from the telephone in 75 years. Incredible. But as this speed of adoption is increasing, you have to think about why and what people expect. Take your phone, take your computer, take your laptop. I want to keep that device and I just want it to be the best. There's upgrades. Yes, the new iPhone just came out and you might want to buy that, but do you need to buy it now, or can your phone that you have now do what that's going to do also? But this is causing extreme headaches for IT managers. Who here is in IT as a manager, director, CIO? You all know that this speed of adoption is causing a big headache for you. And you have two options. Buy more infrastructure, hardware, cooling, compute, etc., or go to the cloud. But the line is not drawn in the sand. I can have a little here, I can have a little there, I can do hybrid, I can do public, I can do private. But the research it takes to go into all that takes time as well. So how do we keep moving forward without getting pulled back? And it's hard, but we can do it, and especially with the help of partners such as Innovative Solutions. So now it's time to meet me. Don't you think you already know me? We're here, we're talking, it's good. My journey is similar to the cloud. I graduated from the University of Pittsburgh with a degree in communications and computer science. And from there, whether it was a good or bad idea, I went right to work. I was working for this company, Aptech Technologies, a computing infrastructure company out of Carlsbad, California. I started as a sales associate, or what you would know as a telemarketer, calling into companies, hey, you got any IT projects? Hey, you got any IT projects? Over and over and over again, selling servers, storage, networking. But the first 2 weeks, they put me in the warehouse, they gave me a server, they said, take it apart and put it back together. No other directions. So I would learn the pieces of technology. Now times are different now, and that's a little bit different way of learning. But as I worked for 7 years at Aptech Technologies, and I moved my way up through there, selling, as I said, server, storage, networking, also developing a data center relocation branch of the office and a managed service department, I felt I was kind of where I was, and I couldn't go too much further. That being said, the vice president was only about 35 at the time, so he wasn't going anywhere either, so I had to start looking somewhere else. So this little company, about 30, 35 people strong, Meraki, came into my realm. A guy that used to work for me was working there and said, hey, you should come over, this is it. They're doing it, this is the latest, the greatest. I was like, all right, let's do it. So I became the 4th channel manager over at Meraki, who later got acquired by Cisco. And those of you that don't know, it's cloud networking, right? So now you have that hybrid idea, right? Access points, security appliances, switches, mobile device manager, security cameras powered by the cloud. So you have the on-premise hardware, but you're using that graphical user interface through the cloud. So I was there and I was doing good. I was there for about 5 years, and you know, I love the technology. If you can't tell, I like technology. You know, you did not tell that, right? And then I went to this company. Anybody hear of this company called Yelp? Yeah, I'm sure you all use it on your phone. Well, Yelp acquired a company called Turnstile Analytics. And Turnstile Analytics was a company that utilized Meraki access points, so I already had my way in there, to do proximity marketing and engagement. And that was Yelp Wi-Fi. So I did that for a little while. Really cool. Now I'm like from hybrid into software as a service based off what's going on prem. And now today, for the past year and a few months, I've worked for Amazon Web Services as a partner sales manager, working with our salespeople and their customers, such as yourself, to analyze their business and understand what they're trying to do and help them solve their business problems by utilizing partners such as Innovative Solutions. And I love it. The technology is amazing. And my journey through what I've done is very similar to your journey if you're going to be going through the cloud. There we go. So this is the cloud journey. You start with a project, a proof of concept. And you don't want to take something that doesn't mean anything, meaning, yes, you don't want to put your most critical application in the cloud right away, but you want to use something that's going to mean something that you can actually start moving over. So maybe it's a small database or a CRM or something like that that you can kind of put in, and if it doesn't work, pull back. Then you start building that foundation. You say, okay, it works. How do I get there? So I can't do it all at once, but I want to go piece by piece. Now, as you start to do this, if you look at the blue line, you're starting to retire your tech debt. So you're moving to the cloud. Now you're reducing your servers, your storage, your power, your cooling, a lot of your infrastructure. And then as you go, okay, we're ready, let's do the big migration. And typically there's 2 different ways to migrate, right? You can do what's called a lift and shift. You take it all, put it in the cloud. Or you can do what's called also refactoring, replatforming. We can change things a little bit, and so it's in the cloud, it's now what we call cloud native. There are many different ways to do this, and depending on what your infrastructure looks like and what your projects look like, that's how you decide. And we all work with you for that. Now, once you're in the cloud, okay, my data's there, it's there. What do? Now you can start to reinvent. We can start to optimize what you're doing. We can really go through and say, hey, we've been using this CRM platform since 1986. Do you think it's time to do something that's a little more faster in the cloud? We can do that as well. But now that you're in the cloud, what can I do? This is too much. I don't know what to do with it. Do I use analytics? Do I use business applications, DevOps, machine learning, developer tools, network, content delivery, storage, security, identity, compliance, robotics? I mean, this is not the end-all list. This is what I could fit on the screen so you can see it. I didn't want it to be too small. Depending on what you, as a customer, want to do, there are solutions for them. Now, I did a little research for you to find out in 2019, the top 9 workloads for the cloud, according to IBC. Right? That CRM's up there, right? Move our CRM to the cloud. Media streaming is huge. To be able to get the compute and infrastructure off your on-prem into the cloud so you don't have that holding you down is amazing. There's SCM and ERM, content applications, collaborative applications. I'll stop a minute on collaborative applications. How many people here have more than one office? About 30% of you. To collaborate inter-office, utilizing different functions, maybe they're CAD drawings, maybe you're working on a report together, any of these things, utilizing these via the cloud, in real time, you can work on them together without being in the same room. And we are at an age by utilizing technology that we don't have to all be at the same place. I love being at the same place with people, in front of people, seeing people face to face, but you can't do it all the time, especially when you have multiple offices, and then your customers have multiple offices, right? And, you know, it's the next couple, it's like unstructured data management as well as structured data management. Let's just take the data management, is what I'm reading from this is, let's put it in the cloud. And then there's analytics as well. There's so much to be done, and we've got plenty of time to do it, but you need to prioritize what's going to work for you and what's going to work the fastest. And artificial intelligence is at the heart of digital disruption. Digital transformation, where you see here listed as DX, it's reaching a macroeconomic scale. And I'm not going to read all these stats to you. You guys can read them. But the first one, by the end of this year, 40% of digital transformation initiatives will use AI services. And out of those services, people get scared of AI and robots. But I'm here to tell you that no one can do a robot's job better than a robot. Now you may be thinking, well, that's kind of silly. But it's true. These robots and this AI have been created by people just like you, utilizing your unique mind and creativity to do so. So don't worry about robots are replacing. Robots are doing what they're built for. And now it gives us the opportunity to be creative, think outside the box, and see what can we do with this artificial intelligence. And to me, that's really the power of the cloud, right? As we go on through this journey, we're all in this together. I want everybody to look around, look to your left, look to your right, meet new people here. Because there are people here that are all in the cloud. There are people here that are not in the cloud at all. There are people here that are working on it. Learn from each other. You know, when Justin asked me to be part of this conference, first of all, thank you, and I'm honored. But also, I'm like, I love to talk to people about technology because technology is everywhere. My oldest son is 7.5, and I just went to his back to school night. He's in 2nd grade. And the teacher is talking about, we're going away from standardized test taking and circling bubbles and things like that, and we're letting these kids be creative. And I'm like, wow, this is like my presentation that I'm doing in a couple of days. I guess I'm on point, right? But the youth of today, they're going to look at robots and AI and they're like, yeah, of course, that's what they do. What I do is I build, I strategize, I understand. The other stat that I think on this page is important is the last one. By 2024, 7% rise in AI-based IT implementation product automation. It's driving new business. It's driving the way we do things. And on top of AI, there's machine learning. Image recognition, object detection, speech recognition, algorithmic trading strategy, and sentiment analysis are only some of the impacts in multiple verticals. And I'm going to give you a couple examples. There's stock traders that have the echo dot on their desk. And it might say, I'm working through the day, and it says, Dave, here's a new stock that fits your profile. You should check it out. Just like that. Now, that goes back to what I said. Artificial intelligence and robots do this better. How much time did that just save me, Dave, by them telling me what I should look out, because they're running an algorithm through machine learning on everything that I'm doing on that desktop and trading to see what fits into my profile. And this comes to your home too. There's Alexa skills that you can enable that can remind you of certain stocks that can help you do things like that. Now that's great for the stockbrokers. Some of us like to play in the stock market. I'm going to make it a little more real for you. You know, there's companies out there that are trying to cure cancer. And if everyone can think for a moment, someone knows someone who has cancer or maybe has passed from cancer, and, you know, deepest sympathies there. There are companies out there, one in particular, that's doing clinical trials to understand differences in how the blood flows and works and abnormalities to detect cancer up to 18 months before it's even seen. Now, when this company went through and tried to analyze all the clinical trial data, it would have taken hundreds of years, to analyze all that data. By the use of machine learning and running different algorithms, they were able to start analyzing the data in a matter of months. Hundreds of years to months. So one clinical trial they did of 100 people came out with 5 false positives. A false positive means that the blood was abnormal, but they tested negative for cancer. To date, out of those 5 false positives, 3 of those people actually got to the point where they actually were tested positive for cancer. And what this is showing is we can detect this early and we can start treating it early. Now, I bring this use case to you because everyone here can just think, what if we can really cure cancer, right? It will change the world we live in today and for tomorrow. Now, we'll bring it up a little bit more. Yes, to get you out of the somberness, I just want to show you that these are real world things, right? So let's talk about Alexa and Google Home and things like that. AI, remember, robots can do things better than humans sometimes, especially in accuracy and learning in large vocabulary speech recognition. So all of these home devices, whether it's your Google Home or your Alexa or whatever you have, they understand you and they learn. I remember when I got my Alexa at my house, my son at the time, my 7.5, he was about 4, and he'd be saying, Alexa, weather. Because he hears me say, Alexa, weather. Say, Alexa, weather. Nothing. And he gets upset, he's getting frustrated, and I'm like, Michael, keep trying. Try it again. Alexa, weather. And then after he says it, I say, Alexa, weather, and then she says it. And he says, Alexa, weather. And I say, Alexa, weather. And then the next day, he comes in the room, Alexa, weather. Today's going to be 78 degrees and sunny, and the kid is so excited. I mean, it's amazing, right? Because Alexa was learning.
Less than 5%, I think my mic went out, but I'll talk loud. Hopefully you can hear me. Less than 5% error in large-scale visual recognition challenge. And over 90% accuracy in parts of speech identification and text. Can you guys hear me in the back? There was a no and some thumbs up.
He's got a hand out there.
He's got a hand. Wait, am I back? Am I back? Am I back? Yeah, I'm here, I'm good. All right, so I'll just kind of rewind that. So over 95% accuracy in large vocabulary speech recognition, less than 5% error in large-scale visual recognition challenge, and over 90% accuracy in parts of speech identification and text. Who likes to do talk to text? Who gets annoyed by talk to text? You talk to text, it's wrong, it's wrong. I'm driving the car and I say, Text wife. Yes, my wife is known as wife in my phone. Because her name's Krista, and every time I say Krista, they say, text Christy? I'm like, no, Krista, text Christy? No, text wife. Oh, perfect, got it, every time. Except when it's like, text Mike. You know, that's not less than 5%.
So, I'll come over here again. I think I'm going out again. So, if you guys could bring me a handheld mic, that would be great. So, what I'm saying from here is that as we get closer and closer to human-like capabilities, we're getting further and further from the way we used to do things, and we need to learn how we're doing things. Can you hear me? I don't think this one's on either. Should I dance?
While we're waiting? All right. All right.
I think I'm back. I'm not. Hey, this is what happens when you're the first speaker of the day. You gotta work out the kinks. Now, in the future, we will have some artificial intelligence that says, hey, your mic's about to go out, fix it.
Okay, we're back. So let me move on here. So cloud computing is the best infrastructure choice for AI/ML workloads. And now take that title out of there. Don't think about cloud computing. Don't think about the best infrastructure choice for AI/ML workloads. Think about what you want to do as a company today. You want to deploy faster. You want high performance. You want to scale like you've never scaled before. And that flexibility of your framework to be doing all different things is essential. But at the same time, I gotta access all my data, and I don't want to spend any more money. Does that resonate with anybody in the room? I see some heads shaking and like, yeah, I want to save money, but I want to do what I'm doing.
And get there faster. It's gonna go like, how many hits on YouTube are we gonna get for this? Anyway, but in order to do that, AI/ML, artificial intelligence, machine learning workloads can help you do this. They can help you scale.
They can help you perform faster, better,
stronger than ever before. And the access to data is there, too many things in my hands, at your fingertips. And it's cost efficient. By putting your information in the cloud, you're able to optimize your infrastructure and drive down costs. Now you guys know what this is. It's the gigantic gizmo, 1956, 5 megabytes, $50,000. That's $10,000 a megabyte. That is ridiculous today. The size of 2 refrigerators. Look at this guy, he's looking at it. Look at it, he's like, oh, what's this big thing?
All right, okay, bring it down, and if you would have dropped that, those guys up there would have been pissed. Fast forward to 2019. 16 terabyte hard drive, $500, fits in your pocket. I was looking at these online, you can even get them for less than $500. But 16 terabytes. They actually just came out with a 100 terabyte SATA drive as well.
Insane. Well, the mic's been going in, it's going out, but I've only got one more slide for you. But before I bring that one slide up, I do want you to really think throughout the day about what you're doing here and why you're here. It's an investment
For all of you to be here today.
Please network with each other, talk to each other. I'll be here all day long. Feel free to come up to me, talk to me. If you can't tell, I like to talk. I'm here to help you too. You get the culture you pay for. As we work on technology,
Migration with enterprises, it's usually people and processes that are the blockers, not technology problems.
it's a nice way of saying get out of your own way and try to start getting to the cloud. Thank you very much. Hope you have a great day today.